If you're a mac and cheese fan like I am, today's video is for you because we are making our favorite food with an unusual ingredient, cottage cheese. It is no secret that cottage cheese is having a moment, and for a good reason, because it is creamy, delicious, and more importantly, high in protein. And in a surprising way, it does a fantastic job of imitating the creamy texture of the real mac and cheese made with butter, flour, and cream. Intrigued? Let's get started. We'll start by cooking the pasta. We'll fill a medium-sized pot with water and add enough salt to make it taste like the sea. We'll then let that come to a boil and add 8 ounces of elbow-shaped pasta. Now, this small elbow-shaped pasta is the classic shape used in making mac and cheese, but you can use other small pasta as well. Any shape that can hold on to the sauce would work here. Also, I'm using regular pasta, but we've tested this recipe with gluten-free pasta and it worked well. Once our pasta is al dente, mine took about 12 to 13 minutes, we'll save some of the pasta water for later and then drain it. Now, do not wash the pot, because in a minute we'll get back to it. Moving on to the macaroni and cheese sauce. Into a blender or a food processor, we'll add 1 cup of cottage cheese. I'm using whole milk 4% cottage cheese here because, it's the good stuff. Then we'll add half a cup of regular milk, 4 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese, 2 ounces of Parmesan cheese, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, a pinch of nutmeg, and an optional pinch of cayenne pepper. We'll blend it until smooth for about 30 to 40 seconds. Then we'll pour that into the pot and turn the heat to medium-low. Using a wooden spoon, we'll stir until it is slightly thickened for about 1 to 1.5 minutes. This is an important step in that doing this, we're not only thickening and warming up the sauce, but also cooking the cornstarch. Now, we've tested this recipe several times and never needed to use the reserved pasta water. But if your sauce gets too thick, you can add some to thin it out. We'll add the pasta back in the pot and give it a good stir. This is also a good time to taste it and add more if necessary. Then we'll spoon a generous portion into a bowl and treat ourselves to a delicious bowl of tiny bit healthier mac and cheese. It's so good. Now, we're filming this in September and holidays are ahead of us, and I can almost hear you asking, can I make this ahead for Thanksgiving dinner, or can I warm it up in the oven right before serving? The answer is yes and yes, which is what we'll be doing next. To turn this into more of a traditional baked mac and cheese, we'll start by brushing an 8x8 casserole dish with butter. Then we'll add 2 to 3 tablespoons of the reserved pasta water into the mac and cheese to thin it out. Now, let me explain this a little bit more. During our testing, we found that some of the liquid in the sauce evaporates as it bakes in the oven. So adding a bit of pasta water helps keep it nice and moist. Then we'll pour the mac and cheese into the dish and top it off with an ounce of shredded cheddar or Parmesan cheese and a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. We'll then transfer that into a preheated 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius oven and bake for 15 minutes or until lightly browned and bubbly. Now, if you want to make this a day ahead, you can transfer the mac and cheese mixture to the casserole dish, bring it to room temperature, cover it tightly, and refrigerate. Then, right before you're ready to bake, sprinkle it with cheese and breadcrumbs and pop it in the oven. And just like that, we have made a quick and easy mac and cheese recipe that is relatively lighter than its classic counterpart, yet still super creamy and delicious. As always, you can find the link for the recipe in the description below. Give this recipe a try and let me know how it turns out down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Shredded cheddar cheese. And turn the heat. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this in the... Every time I try to say this. Okay.
Man, I burned myself.
Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next.